Only Fools and Horses has given us more than just laughter. It has given us characters that have become an integral part of British television history. From the Trotter's madcap schemes to the unforgettable humor of side characters, the show has remained close to our hearts for decades. However, as time moves forward, we remember the talented actors who brought these characters to life, some of whom have tragically passed on. In this tribute, we'll reflect on the lives of those stars from the iconic sitcom who have left us too soon, sharing their stories of triumph, tragedy, and unforgettable moments that will live on in our memories. Join us as we honor the legacy of these brilliant actors and the impact they had on Only Fools and Horses. John Challis as Boycie. John Challis, born on August 16, 1942, in Bristol, England, is best remembered for his role as Terence Aubrey, Boycie Boyce in the beloved British sitcom Only Fools and Horses. Boycie, the arrogant yet charming car dealer, became an iconic figure in British television with his sharp wit and memorable catchphrases. The role, which lasted from 1981 to 2003, earned Challis a place in the hearts of millions of viewers. Despite his on-screen success, John Challis's personal life was filled with emotional turmoil. His 4 marriages, including to actresses Debbie Arnold and Sabina Franklin, were marred by heartbreak. His final marriage to Carol Davies in 1995 brought him some peace, though the shadows of his past still lingered. John faced the pressures of fame, often struggling to maintain the cheerful image expected of him, even as he battled personal demons. In his later years, John was diagnosed with cancer in 2019, and despite the pain, he continued working on projects like Benidorm, 2015 to 2018. John passed away peacefully on September 17, 2021, at the age of 79. His wealth, largely from his decades-long career, was estimated at $2 million. His death marked the end of an era for Only Fools and Horses, but his legacy as Boycie lives on through the laughter he brought to audiences. Leonard Pearce as Grandad. Leonard Pearce, born on October 31, 1915, in Paddington, London, became a household name through his portrayal of the lovable but bumbling Grandad in Only Fools and Horses. Pearce joined the show in 1981 and became a beloved character for his dry humor and unique take on life. But behind the scenes, Pearce's life was one of great hardship and personal sacrifice. Growing up in poverty, Leonard lost his father during World War I, leaving his mother to raise 5 children. Despite these early struggles, Pearce's resilience led him to pursue acting, and he eventually studied at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. While he faced numerous setbacks in his career, his breakthrough came with Only Fools and Horses, where he played Grandad with warmth and wit. Sadly, Leonard's health declined in the early 1980s. He had struggled with hypertension and had suffered a heart attack in 1984, but continued to work despite his worsening condition. Tragically, just 3 days after his first heart attack, Leonard passed away on December 12, 1984, from a second heart attack at the age of 69. His death was a great loss to the industry, and his modest estate of £40,000 reflected the quiet dedication he had to his craft. Buster Merryfield as Uncle Albert. Buster Merryfield, born on November 27, 1920, in Battersea, London, rose to fame as Uncle Albert in Only Fools and Horses. Known for his signature white beard and his often repeated phrase, "During the war," Uncle Albert became a fan favorite, adding humor and warmth to the Trotter family's adventures from 1985 to 1996. But Merryfield's journey to stardom was not an easy one. Before entering the entertainment industry, Buster lived a full life, with military service during World War II, followed by a long career in banking. His dream of acting came later in life, after he retired from banking at the age of 57. It was his wife Iris who encouraged him to return to acting, and soon he found himself cast as Uncle Albert in Only Fools and Horses. This role gave him the fame he had long sought, and he quickly became an essential part of the show. However, in the late 1990s, Buster's health began to deteriorate, and he was diagnosed with a brain tumor. Despite his declining health, he continued to perform until the very end. On June 23, 1999, Buster passed away at the age of 78. He left behind an estate valued at $500,000, a testament to his late career success and the impact he had on the show. His death was a significant moment in Only Fools and Horses, and his legacy lives on in the hearts of fans. Roger Lloyd Pack as Trigger. Roger Lloyd Pack, born on February 8, 1944, in Islington, London, is best known for his role as Trigger, the lovable but dim-witted character in Only Fools and Horses. His portrayal of Trigger, with his vacant stare and slow voice, became iconic, earning him a special place in British television history. Roger's career spanned decades, but it was Trigger that solidified his reputation as a television legend. Growing up in a family of actors, Roger always felt the pressure to live up to his father's legacy. Despite this, he made his own mark, and Trigger became his most famous role, though it often overshadowed the rest of his work. Throughout his career, Roger appeared in several other projects, but it was Only Fools and Horses that remained his defining role. However, the fame came at a personal cost. He struggled with the pressure of being trapped in the character of Trigger and the expectations that came with it. Roger was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2012 and passed away on January 16, 2014, at the age of 69. His estate was valued at $1.5 million, reflecting the lasting impact of his work. Roger's death marked the end of an era for Only Fools and Horses, but his portrayal of Trigger remains a beloved part of television history. Kenneth MacDonald as Mike Fisher. Kenneth MacDonald, born on November 20, 1950 in Manchester, was best known for his role as Mike Fisher, the affable pub landlord in Only Fools and Horses. His character became a mainstay of the show from 1983 until 1996, known for his friendly demeanor and his place in the Trotter family's extended circle. But Kenneth's life was marked by personal hardship and struggle long before his rise to fame. Kenneth's early life was filled with loss, with the death of his father when Kenneth was only 13. This loss, coupled with financial difficulties, shaped Kenneth's future and led him to drop out of school at 18 to support his mother. Despite these challenges, Kenneth continued to pursue his passion for acting, eventually landing roles in notable TV shows, including It Ain't Half Hot Mom, 1974 to 1981. His breakthrough role as Mike Fisher came in Only Fools and Horses, and his portrayal of the warm-hearted pub landlord made him a fan favorite. Tragically, just as Kenneth's career seemed to be taking off, he suffered a heart attack and passed away suddenly on August 6, 2001, while on holiday with his family. At the time of his death, Kenneth was just 50 years old. His estate was valued at $120,000, a modest sum reflecting the quiet dedication he had to his craft. His untimely passing left a hole in the hearts of his family, friends, and fans alike. Roy Heather as Sid. Roy Heather, born on May 20, 1935, in Stoke Poges, Buckinghamshire, gained recognition for his role as Sid, the straightforward and dependable cafe owner in Only Fools and Horses. Sid, with his down-to-earth nature, was a beloved supporting character, contributing greatly to the show's charm. Though his screen time may have been limited, Roy's portrayal of Sid resonated with viewers, making him a memorable figure in the Only Fools and Horses universe. Before acting, Roy worked various jobs, including a stint at an asbestos company and serving in the Royal Air Force. His dream of becoming an actor was fulfilled later in life, and it was David Tudor, the renowned casting director, who discovered Roy at the age of 44, giving him his first professional role. His dedication to the craft came at a later stage in his life, but he never wavered in his commitment. As Sid, Roy brought authenticity to the role, with a character that reflected the working-class spirit of Only Fools and Horses. However, behind Sid's jovial presence, Roy quietly endured physical and emotional struggles. In his later years, Roy's health deteriorated, and he passed away on September 3, 2014, at the age of 79. His estate was valued at $300,000, reflecting the lifelong dedication he gave to acting, both on-screen and in the theater. Michael Jaston as James Turner. Michael Jaston, born on October 29, 1935, in West Bridgford, Nottingham, made a lasting impression with his portrayal of James Turner, the strict but caring father of Raquel, in Only Fools and Horses' 1996 special, Time on Our Hands. Despite the role being a small one, Michael's commanding presence on screen added depth to the show, further enriching its ensemble cast. Marked by loss, with his mother passing away when he was just 15 years old, and his father dying of pneumonia when he was 1. These early hardships led Michael to become a resilient and independent man, forging his path into acting. Though he achieved success in theater and film, it was his portrayal of James Turner that introduced him to a broader audience. Throughout his career, Michael Jaston built an extensive portfolio starring in Nicholas and Alexandra, 1971, and Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, 1979. His acting ability was highly regarded in both television and film. Behind his successful career, Michael faced his own personal struggles, including 3 failed marriages and a quiet battle with loneliness. His final years were spent recording audiobooks and living by the sea with his family. Michael Jaston passed away on February 5, 2024, at the age of 88. He left behind a net worth estimated at $1 million, reflecting his commitment to his craft. His work remains an indelible part of British television history. Kate Saunders as Sandra. Kate Saunders, born on May 4, 1960, in London, is remembered for her role as Sandra, the intelligent and charming policewoman who briefly dated Rodney Trotter in Only Fools and Horses. Though her role was small, it left an impression on audiences due to Kate's natural talent and warmth. However, behind her captivating smile and on-screen persona, Kate's life was filled with personal tragedy. Kate's early life was marked by responsibility, as she was the eldest of 6 siblings, often bearing the weight of family expectations. But the greatest sorrow of her life came when her only son tragically took his own life at the age of 19. The loss was a devastating blow that left Kate struggling with grief, and it deeply affected her personal and professional life. Despite this unimaginable pain, Kate continued to forge ahead, receiving critical acclaim for her work, including in 5 Children on the Western Front, 2014, and The Land of Never Endings, 2019. In her later years, Kate battled multiple sclerosis, but it was cancer that ultimately claimed her life. Kate Saunders passed away on April 21, 2023, at the age of 62, leaving behind an estate valued at $500,000. Though she faced unimaginable sorrow, her legacy remains in her contributions to the arts and the love she gave to her craft. Joan Sims as Auntie Renee. Joan Sims, born on May 9, 1930, was a celebrated actress known for her role as Auntie Renee Turpin in Only Fools and Horses. With her natural comedic timing, Joan brought to life the character of Renee, a no-nonsense woman with a sharp wit who became a fan favorite. However, behind her public persona, Joan's personal life was marked by deep emotional struggles. Joan's early career was shaped by her time in the Carry On films, where she often played the quirky, overlooked woman. Despite her success, Joan's personal life was a far cry from the cheerful characters she portrayed. She struggled with loneliness, alcoholism, and a series of failed romances. She was often compared unfavorably to her more glamorous counterparts, such as Brigitte Bardot, and this comparison left a mark on Joan's self-esteem. Joan's health began to deteriorate in the later years of her life, exacerbated by her diabetes and COPD. In 2000, following a botched surgery, she fell into a coma, from which she never recovered. Joan Sims passed away on June 27, 2001, at the age of 71. Her modest estate of $200,000 reflected a career that had given so much to British comedy, yet never truly rewarded her on a personal level. Joan remains beloved for her timeless comedic legacy. Walter Sparrow as Dirty Barry. Walter Sparrow, born on January 22, 1927, in Elam, London, gained recognition for his role as Dirty Barry, the cheeky adult shop owner in Only Fools and Horses' 1989 episode, Dangerous UDX. Walter's portrayal of Barry brought a memorable, humorous touch to the show, but his life was not as carefree as his character suggested. Walter's journey into acting was far from conventional. He began his career in stand-up comedy before joining the Royal Shakespeare Company, where he performed in various productions. Despite his early struggles in the industry, Walter eventually gained recognition for his work, appearing in films such as Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, 1991, and The Secret Garden, 1993. However, Walter's later years were marked by isolation and health problems that forced him to leave the stage. As Walter aged, illness began to take its toll, and he faced the twilight of his career with quiet dignity. He passed away on May 31st, 2000, at the age of 73, from complications related to his health. His estate was valued at $300,000, a testament to his decades of dedication to his craft. While his roles may have been small, Walter Sparrow's contribution to British television and theater is remembered fondly by fans and colleagues alike. Tony Anholt as Abdul. Tony Anholt, born on January 19, 1941, in Singapore, is remembered for his memorable appearance as Abdul in the Only Fools and Horses special episode To Hull and Back in 1985. Playing the sly, small-time crook, Tony brought his charm and wit to the role, despite it being a brief part in the iconic sitcom. Abdul may not have had as much screen time as other characters, but his performance made a lasting impression. Tony's early life was filled with hardship, as his father was a prisoner of war during World War II, forced into labor on the Burma Railway. Tony's childhood was marked by frequent moves, as his family relocated from Singapore to Australia and then South Africa before settling in England. These early experiences left him with a sense of dislocation, which led him to find solace in acting as a means of escape. Though he enjoyed a successful career in television and film, Tony's personal life was often marked by struggles. His two marriages ended in divorce, but his greatest joy in later life was his son, Christian, who provided him with much-needed emotional support. Tony's health began to decline when he was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and despite his efforts to continue working, the illness rapidly took its toll. On July 26, 2002, Tony passed away at the age of 61. His estate was valued at around $400,000, a reflection of his career and dedication to his craft. David Jason as Derek Delboy Trotter. David Jason, born on February 2, 1940, in Edmonton, London, is a living legend of British television, best known for his iconic role as Derek Delboy Trotter in Only Fools and Horses. His portrayal of the charming, streetwise, yet often hapless entrepreneur became one of the most beloved characters in British sitcom history. David's performance as Delboy from 1981 until 2003 is etched in the hearts of millions, defining the series and creating unforgettable moments of humor and heart. David's early life was marked by hardship. His twin brother died at birth, a loss that David carried throughout his life. Raised in poverty, David trained as an electrician before pursuing acting. His career began with minor roles, but his breakthrough came with Only Fools and Horses. As Delboy, David captured the essence of ambition, wit, and vulnerability, creating a character that viewers loved, laughed with, and rooted for. David's personal life has also had its share of challenges, including the painful loss of his long-term partner, actress Mfane Talog, who passed away from breast cancer in 1995. The grief from this loss profoundly impacted David, but he continued to work and maintain a successful career in television, including voice work in Danger Mouse and Count Duckula. In 2023, David discovered he had a secret daughter, Abby, after an affair in the 1970s. Now at 85 years old, his net worth is estimated at around $10 million, the result of decades of hard work in both acting and voice roles. Nicholas Lyndhurst as Rodney Trotter. Nicholas Lyndhurst, born on April 20th, 1961, in Gosport, Hampshire, is best known for his portrayal of Rodney Trotter, the clumsy but lovable younger brother of Delboy, in Only Fools and Horses. Nicholas played Rodney from 1981 to 2003, creating a character who was both the perfect foil to Delboy's scheming and a sympathetic figure in his own right. Rodney's struggles, awkwardness, and deep love for his family resonated with audiences, making him an iconic character. Nicholas's journey to stardom wasn't without its challenges. He grew up in a broken family, with his parents divorcing when he was young. The early loneliness he experienced shaped him into a sensitive and empathetic actor. Despite his success as Rodney, Nicholas struggled with the pressures of fame, particularly being overshadowed by his famous co-star, David Jason. Yet his talent shone through, and Rodney became one of the most beloved TV characters of all time. In 2020, Nicholas faced the greatest tragedy of his life when his son, Archie, passed away suddenly at the age of 19 from a brain hemorrhage caused by leukemia. The loss of his son led Nicholas and his wife, Lucy Smith, to retreat from the public eye. But they have since found some peace through resilience and support from each other. Nicholas made his return to television in 2023, joining the Frasier reboot as Professor Alan Cornwall. Now 64 years old, Nicholas's net worth is estimated at around $5 million, a reflection of his decades-long career in television and film. As we look back on the lives of these incredible actors, it's clear that Only Fools and Horses wasn't just a show, it was a family. The memories they left behind continue to bring joy to audiences around the world. Thank you for joining us in remembering these beloved stars. If you've enjoyed this tribute, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep their memories alive, one laugh at a time.